Her head moved gently in a slow, rhythmic motion, the warmth of her tongue exploring every inch of me with tender care. She traced delicate paths along my most intimate places, paying special attention to every sensitive spot down below. The softness of her lips, the wet caress of her mouth, it all combined to create a sensation unlike anything I'd ever experienced. I found myself playing with her hair, fingers entwined in the silky strands, whispering quiet words of encouragement that seemed to calm her and deepen the connection between us. Her humming underscored the moment, a comforting and content sound that made me realize just how fortunate I was to be the man she had chosen. This intimate act was groundbreaking for her as much as for me. It was not just the first time she'd shared this kind of closeness with me, but her first experience ever. She had confessed in the quiet, reflective moments before our wedding that the idea had intrigued her deeply. Over months of abstinence, she had listened secretly to conversations between her friends and discovered their tales about these profound, personal acts of love. The stories aroused her curiosity and fascination, awakening a natural desire she hadn't fully acknowledged before. With an openness I admired, she later admitted that she even took the initiative to watch several instructional videos in private, hoping to learn and prepare herself. Knowing this made the experience all the more special. I wasn't just receiving a gift of love, but the result of her care and devotion. Her skill was exceptional, a delicate balance of eagerness and attentiveness that made every moment memorable. We shared the physical closeness of our wedding night, though it came later into the evening and into the early morning, the night after this first encounter. The timing only deepened my appreciation for the unique path we were walking together. When she settled comfortably between my legs on that soft pillow, I could sense her nervous excitement mingling with a brave determination. The anticipation in the air was palpable, charged with emotions both new and familiar. My heart swelled with affection, knowing that this vulnerable offering was a testament to the trust and love we had built. I felt honored beyond words to be the one at the center of her discovery, to be the first to witness the awakening of her passion. As her movements continued, steady and sure, I fought the instinct to hasten the moment, wanting to draw out every touch, every sensation. The rhythm she set was perfect in exquisite balance that sent waves of pleasure through me while inviting me to slow down and be fully present. Her hands reached out to me, fingers gentle yet firm, guiding my own in a dance of shared intimacy. The connection we forged was about more than physicality. It was a merging of hearts, a silent promise spoken without words. The humming that escaped her lips filled the space between us, a soft melody that tethered our souls. It was a sound of satisfaction, contentment, and the quiet joy that only comes from true closeness. I whispered little reassurances, feeling the tremble in her breath as she responded, each note a reminder of the trust she had placed in me. When I finally told her that I was close, her reaction was tender and knowing. She gave me one last, loving gesture, a long, delicate movement that conveyed all the affection she had to offer. Her words were softly spoken but held immense meaning. Giving you my affection means giving you all of me. Let me have all of you. In that moment, I felt the full weight of her gift, the depth of what she was sharing. She welcomed me again with a quiet eagerness, her hands resting firmly on my thighs, her lips warm and tender against me. I could no longer resist, allowing myself to respond with gentle movements, each one an expression of the immense emotion welling inside me. Time slipped away, and I was lost in the sensation of her, the feel of her, the taste of her, the sound of her, all woven together into an experience that was far beyond anything I had imagined. When the moment came and passed, leaving me breathless and complete, I heard her swallow softly a few times. That small, simple act filled me with a desire to melt into her embrace, to hold her, and never let go. As she rose from the floor, wiping her lips with a shy smile, I was flooded with respect and gratitude. My first impulse was to take her into my arms and express all my passion in a wild, overwhelming embrace. But I knew better. This was her moment, the sharing of something precious and sacred. So instead, I rose slowly, meeting her eyes with my own, and kissed her gently, softly, letting the reverence of the experience speak louder than words ever could. We held each other close, and I could feel the beating of her heart against mine. The depth of our connection that night was unparalleled, a blend of tenderness, discovery, and profound affection that would forever remain etched in my memory. This was the beginning of a journey we would walk hand in hand, building trust and love one moment at a time. I had been given a gift unlike any other, her first true offering of herself, and I would cherish it always. On the drive to our hotel, the atmosphere between us shifted subtly but unmistakably. She moved across the bench seat with a graceful, seductive confidence that took me completely by surprise. Her eyes, usually so soft and reserved, now held a spark of something new, bold, yet tender. Leaning close, she whispered words that sent a thrill through me. As sacred as my promise is, my first time giving this kind of affection is just as important to me. I want to share that with you first. Her voice was a mixture of shyness and determination, a delicate balance that only made her more irresistible. I didn't hesitate for a moment. Neither I nor my body had the slightest objection to her heartfelt wish. It felt natural, right, and deeply moving. Arriving at the hotel, she asked me to shower first, giving her the gift of time to prepare herself without the rush of impatience. When she emerged after what felt like an hour, the sight before me stole my breath away. She was unlike any image I had ever held in my mind, a vision radiant and captivating. The familiar, prim, and proper Sunday school teacher I had known suddenly transformed into something breathtakingly beautiful. For the first time, I saw skin revealed in places I had only imagined, skin that glowed like porcelain and invited touch and admiration. She wore a delicate valentine lace baby doll, its color a perfect contrast to her milky complexion. My mouth went dry and my heart stuttered in its beat. Unsure where to direct my gaze, she glanced bashfully between the floor and myself, silently pleading for my honest reaction. I searched for the right words to express the overwhelming sense of awe and desire rising within me. When I finally spoke, my voice was thick with emotion as I told her she was the most beautifully seductive and alluring sight I had ever encountered. Her cheeks flushed a soft pink as a genuine smile graced her lips. Slowly, with a confidence that belied her earlier nervousness, she began to walk toward me. My eyes roamed her body, committing every curve, every line, every subtle detail to memory. This moment felt sacred, and I made a silent vow never to take for granted the extraordinary beauty before me. As she neared, my hands reflexively reached out to touch her, but she stepped back gently. Her eyes locked onto mine as she spoke softly. "I won't try to tell you what to do again, but will you let me lead this first time?" Her voice was tender, wrapped in vulnerability and hope. I lowered my hands, nodding my full consent. The smile that spread across her face in response was radiant, lighting the room with warmth and promise. Without hesitation, she retrieved a pillow from the bed and placed it on the floor between my open legs. Kneeling down upon it, she pulled me close for a kiss that was both passionate and electric a connection, burning itself into my memory. That kiss disappeared too soon, and she smiled once more before slipping the thin straps of her baby doll off her shoulders. My breath caught at the sight of her bare skin revealed for the first time in such a way. Her chest, delicate and beautiful, spoke of innocence and newfound confidence all at once. I was utterly captivated. She seemed to savor my reaction, a gleam of happiness sparkling in her eyes. Rising slightly, she pressed a gentle kiss to my lips again, then allowed her lips to trace a tender, damp line down my neck, over my chest, until her chin rested close to where I most longed for her touch. Our eyes met, and I glimpsed the nervousness dancing just beneath her calm exterior, an endearing mix of uncertainty and courage. Her hands moved deliberately up my legs, hesitant for just a moment before steadying. Then she spoke softly. "My dear husband, you've had my heart for such a long time, and now you will have my body too." Those words carried the weight of a promise deep and true. One hand reached out to cup me gently, the other grasped my base with tender assurance, and her mouth enveloped me, warm and inviting. The sensation was overwhelming, a rush of emotion crashing through me. "Oh my God, baby, I breathed, unable to find any other words to capture what I was feeling. She took my hands in hers and guided them slowly along her shoulders, then up to her hair, as if entrusting me with every part of her. Returning to her own focus, she continued her gentle movements with me. I softly played with her hair, my fingers tender, as her head bobbed slowly in a measured rhythm that sent exquisite sensations coursing through my body. The pleasure was intense yet delicate, a blend of anticipation and fulfillment that teetered on the edge of overwhelming. At some point, a soft hum escaped her lips, a sound both soothing and alluring. I clenched my teeth, striving to hold back the urge to move too quickly. With shaky breath and broken words, I confessed that I was close to losing control. Her response was a long, slow lick from bottom to top, as if sealing a promise. She whispered, "Giving you my affection means giving you all of me. Let me have all of you." The invitation was irresistible. She enveloped me once again, her hands resting firmly on my thighs. Unable to resist, I gave a slight thrust, surrendering to the moment. Her lips met mine again, soft and warm, and I lost all composure. I don't know how much I gave of myself in that instant, but I heard her swallow carefully 3 times, which only made me want to dissolve into her even more. When it was over, she rose gracefully to her feet and wiped her lips with a shy smile. For a fleeting moment, my instinct was to sweep her into my arms and express every ounce of passion I felt in a frenzied embrace. Yet I understood the significance of what she had just offered me, the sacredness of this first time shared on her terms. So instead, I rose alongside her and kissed her deeply, a kiss that spoke of gratitude, reverence, and unspoken promises. The night stretched on, filled with slow, deliberate tenderness. Every glance, every touch, every whispered word was a testament to the trust and love blossoming between us. I knew then that this moment was the foundation for everything to come, a precious memory that would forever hold its place in the story of our lives. Slowly, she approached me, each step measured and filled with a quiet confidence that both intrigued and captivated me. My eyes traveled up and down her form, committing every curve, every subtle detail to memory, as though trying to capture an image I never wanted to forget. She was a vision that seemed almost too perfect for this world, a beautiful blend of innocence and burgeoning desire. In that moment, I silently vowed never to become complacent in the presence of such breathtaking grace. When she reached me, my instinct was to reach out, to touch and hold her close, but she gently stepped back and looked directly into my eyes. "I'm never going to try and tell you what to do again," she said softly, her voice carrying vulnerability and hope. "But will you let me lead this first time?" Her words were a tender invitation, a request for trust wrapped in loving determination. Without hesitation, I lowered my hands and nodded. I gave her my full consent and support. Her smile brightened instantly, radiating a warmth that filled the room. She moved to the bed, took a pillow, and placed it carefully on the floor between my open legs. Kneeling down on the soft cushion, she pulled me closer, and our lips met in a kiss that was electrifying and full of promise. The intensity of that moment seared itself into my memory. After breaking the kiss, she smiled once more and slowly slipped the delicate straps of her baby doll from her shoulders, revealing her bare skin for the first time in such an intimate way. My breath caught. Her skin was soft and glowing, her breasts delicate and captivating. The beauty before me was almost unreal, and I was overcome with awe. She seemed to delight in my reaction, her shy smile deepening as I looked at her with unabashed admiration. Rising slightly on her knees, she leaned in to place a gentle kiss on my lips. Then she traced a warm, wet path down my neck, over my chest, and along my torso until her chin rested near me. Our eyes met, and I could see the slight nervousness flickering behind her calm gaze, but it only made her more endearing. Her hands moved deliberately up my legs, brushing softly, hesitating for just a moment. Then she spoke softly and clearly, with love and earnestness in her voice. "My dear husband, you've had my heart for a very long time, and now you will have my body." Those words carried weight and tenderness, a sacred promise I would hold close forever. Her hands cupped me gently, yet confidently, and her mouth enveloped me with warmth and softness that took my breath away. I was overwhelmed by the intensity of what she was giving. "Oh my God, baby," I whispered, utterly lost in the sensation. She guided my hands to her shoulders, then to her hair, entrusting me with every piece of herself. Her focus returned to me as she continued, her movements slow and deliberate. I tenderly played with her hair, feeling the silky strands slip through my fingers as her head bobbed steadily in a rhythm that was slow and sensual. Waves of exquisite pleasure rippled through my body. Though the temptation to move was nearly unbearable, I held back, wanting to savor every second, to be fully present in this exquisite dance between us. A soft hum escaped her lips, a sound filled with quiet joy and contentment. My grip tightened slightly on her hair, my teeth clenched as I fought the urge to rush forward. With a breathless whisper and broken words, I admitted I was close. Her response was a tender, long lick tracing from bottom to top, an intimate gesture that spoke louder than any words. She murmured softly, "Giving you my affection means giving you all of me. Let me have all of you." The invitation was both humbling and irresistible. She took me again with a quiet eagerness, placing her hands firmly on my thighs as her lips wrapped around me. Unable to resist any longer, a gentle thrust escaped me. Her lips met mine once more in a soft kiss, and I lost all composure. Time seemed suspended as I surrendered to the overwhelming intimacy of the moment. I never knew how much I had given of myself then, but I heard her swallow carefully 3 times, a sound that made me want to melt into her embrace forever. When the moment passed, she rose gracefully, wiping her lips with a smile that radiated both satisfaction and affection. My first instinct was to pull her close and pour all of my passion into her in a frenzied haze, but I understood the significance of what she had just shared. I moved slowly to stand beside her and kissed her softly, a kiss full of gratitude, reverence, and quiet celebration of our newfound closeness. Each breath we took after was heavy with meaning, every touch a promise to cherish and protect this precious gift. That night marked a turning point, an intimate awakening shared on her terms, guided by her gentle lead and my absolute trust. It was a memory I vowed to treasure forever, a beginning filled with love, tenderness, and mutual respect. I leaned in with deliberate care, determined to show her just how deeply I appreciated the gift she had so tenderly given me. The moments we shared had woven a delicate thread of trust and affection between us, and now it was my turn to return that offering in kind. I saved the most intimate and vulnerable part for last, wanting to honor her bravery and openness with every action. As my hands traced gently over the warmth of her skin, moving slowly toward her inner thighs, I felt her fingers weave themselves into my hair, drawing me closer with both urgency and reassurance. The sensation sent a shiver down my spine. I had never encountered anything so intoxicating as the taste and scent that surrounded me now. A delicious blend of softness and desire that seemed to awaken something primal deep within me. Her natural fragrance stirred memories and feelings I hadn't known I was capable of experiencing. Everything about her captivated me. The subtle rise and fall of her breath, the gentle quiver in her voice, the way her body responded to every touch and caress. This was more than passion. It was a complete surrender of self, and I found myself utterly mesmerized. Driven by my own growing need and the joyous sound she made, I let my tongue explore with careful reverence, mapping every curve and fold as though learning a sacred scripture. Her breaths grew desperate and uneven, a sweet symphony of pleasure that urged me onward. I matched her cries of delight with gentle strokes and whispers of love, wanting to give her as much happiness as she had given me. The intensity built until she reached a release that felt like the climax of every promise and desire we had ever shared. Her body trembled in my embrace, and I held her close as tears of joy mingled with quiet laughter and whispered endearments. We stayed wrapped in each other's arms for what felt like an eternity, the night sheltering our newly forged bond. In the soft darkness, our hearts beat as one, each pulse a testament to the power of love expressed without hesitation or fear. She rested her head against my chest, and I traced gentle patterns on her back, committed to protecting and cherishing the connection we had created. That hour was more than just a moment. It was a transformation, a deepening of everything that had brought us together. Every lingering touch spoke of trust, every glance held gratitude. I knew then that this night would live within me forever, an unshakable memory of the day we truly became one. We spent the next hour wrapped tightly in each other's arms, the world outside fading into a distant murmur as we savored the closeness and warmth that enveloped us. The quiet hum of the room was filled only with our shared breaths, gentle sighs, and the soft beat of our hearts finding rhythm in one another. In those moments, time seemed to fold in on itself, stretching endlessly while also slipping away too fast, leaving nothing but pure connection behind. Every glance we exchanged carried the weight of unspoken promises and the gentle acknowledgement of a new chapter unfolding between us. There was a vulnerability that lay between us now, stripped bare not only physically, but emotionally and spiritually. This was more than a night of passion. It was a sacred intertwining of two souls who had given themselves fully and without reservation. She nestled closer, her head resting against my chest where she could hear the steady thump of my heartbeat. Her fingers traced idle patterns along my skin, as if trying to memorize every inch, every line, every landmark of a body and being she was growing to cherish deeply. I responded by wrapping my arms securely around her, anchoring us in a shared space of love and safety. Tears mingled silently with quiet laughter, soft sobs expressing joy and relief all at once. It was a release unlike any other, the culmination of withheld desire, of patience, of trust, and ultimately of mutual surrender. Our whispered words were gentle and fragmented, the language of hearts speaking directly without the need for grand declarations. "I've never felt so close to anyone," she murmured, her voice thick with emotion. "Me neither," I replied, my own throat tight. In that hour, we learned the true meaning of intimacy, not just the physical act, but the tender dance of giving and receiving, of honoring and accepting, of being seen and loved without condition. The room felt sacred, bathed in the soft glow of the late night, every shadow softened, every breath a prayer. I held her close, feeling the warmth of her body against mine, knowing that this moment would be etched into my memory forever. It was a beginning, no, more than that, it was a foundation. A quiet promise that whatever the future held, we would face it together, with hearts open and hands entwined. As the first light of dawn crept outside the window, painting the room with gentle hues, we remained lost in each other's embrace, savoring the aftermath of a night that had changed everything. I vowed silently that I would cherish this closeness, protect it, nurture it always. This night, this gift she had so courageously offered, was a blessing beyond measure. It was not just the start of our physical union, but the blossoming of a deep, abiding love that would guide us through all the days to come.